Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to Tea Time with Taryn. So, I got a little reading here. We're gonna start with the Angel Magic Oracle deck, and this is number 26. Jaleel, Let Love Heal. A partnership can be a form of divine alchemy, a combination that results in lush prosperity, radiant joy, and an endless wellspring of healing. The magnetic attraction that draws couples and friends into each other's orbit depends on polarity. This is why relationships can sometimes feel fraught. The chemistry that attracts, coalesces, and nourishes can also at times become a source of irritation or mistrust. I am here to help you harmonize your relationship or attract the harmonious partnership you desire. Many cultural stories, novels, movies, and the like depict relationships as possibilities for endless friction filled with various forms of dishonesty, betrayal, and manipulation. But this is a human paradigm, not a divine one. Choose now to rise above it. Never again buy into the expectation that your closest relationships need to be beset by inherent discord. I'm going to stop briefly and just talk about this for a minute. Because this is talking about so like divine partnerships versus karmic toxic relationships. And I'm going to speak on a personal level, as I always do, without giving away too much of other people that have been in my life or my family members or anything like that. I don't want to, I'm here to share my experience, not other people's. So, I want to say that I don't believe to this date I've experienced a healthy relationship. And I feel like that can be true for a lot of people. We confuse toxicity and codependency sometimes with love. And I have, like I said, I'm speaking about personal experiences too. And we can also, which is something I've, had to work on myself, we can also confuse passion with love. Just because someone comes towards you passionately, and I'll just say it briefly because I don't want my videos to be taken down, but when a relationship is led or starts off from a sexually based kind of thing, we can confuse that for love as well. And passion and desire and lust are different. We are called to have passionate relationships with people, but passion and, like I said, passion and lust are two different things. So if you're in a very magnetic relationship and you're drawn to someone, and you can be drawn to other people that way too, but that's where discernment comes into play. And that's where, I've had to really step back and look too. And so I feel like this whole message that I've got here is talking about the difference, distinguishing. So I know this message, I asked Spirit for a message for the collective to go with this angel card. But I know that sometimes the messages I get are for me too. And this message is for me too. So I'm not preaching at anybody. I come always to you guys from a place of love and healing and guidance. And I'm still, I'm still healing. I'm still learning. I will always be healing and learning for the rest of my life. Anyone who thinks they've got it all figured out and that they know everything, I'll pray for you, because that's not the kind of journey I'm on, and I don't believe if you're leading with that, you're on a spiritual journey, and not all of us are on spiritual journeys. This channel is for people who are healing and transforming and ascending, raising their frequency and vibration to align with their highest self. That's what this is essentially about. And I'm working on myself and trying to help anyone that's also going through something similar. So, yeah, just wanted to say that. So when you and this is another personal example, I've never been married, because to me, marriage is something sacred, and that's what it is supposed to be. A sacred union is different than a codependent, toxic, trauma bond, anything like that. That is not a sacred union. And people, I feel like people just, they don't, the whole, I feel like the whole meaning behind a marriage has really been destroyed, present day. It's not, I don't feel like a lot of people who are in marriages, and it's not my place to judge, and I'm not judging, but I'm going to give an example. A lot of marriages are based around convenience, children, familiarity. Yes. Sorry. But, and a lot of people, and I see people like this, so, but I can see very clearly because God's given me certain gifts, but, I mean, I observe a lot. So, I've observed that there are a lot of people out there who are in relationships or marriages for the wrong reasons. If you're not in love, if your partner isn't your best friend and you can't talk to them about anything, that's not sacred, to me. So that's why I've never been married, because I haven't, in the past, my past relationships were not that, to me, in a sacred relationship, things shouldn't be hard. They shouldn't be toxic. So, if there's mental, verbal, physical abuse, that's not a sacred union, and, like I said, people have I feel like it's just like everything else that's in the Matrix at this point. We just do it because we're trained robots. Oh, well, I had a kid with this person, so I better go get married. That is not when God's, and the Bible speaks about marriages. He is not talking about that. He's not talking about getting married for finances. He's not talking about getting married because you have a child with someone. He's not talking about marriage because it's somebody from your past that you have been with since you were in high school, and it's just convenient and it's what you know. That isn't true love, and that is not a sacred union. So, I'm just trying to clarify for everybody, like, what I'm talking about here. So, yeah, and I do have someone in my life that I have a very strong connection with. And it's, but I'm not going to get into that because it's really no one's business. And thank you, Spirit. That leads me to another download I got while I was getting this put together. And the reason I don't shuffle on camera is because I like to get the cards and then look at them, and then as I'm looking at them, I'm getting downloads from Spirit. So everybody's going to do things differently, and this is the way I do it. So, but I am, I've got the camera specifically set on the cards so you can see what I have here. But what I get from this message is going to be different than another reader that got these same cards. So it's, everybody to each their own. I'm doing what I'm called to do and what Spirit tells me to do. That's what I do. I do what God tells me to do. And yeah. So anyway, shoot, I lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me. Anyway, your partner, your spouse, significant other, love interest, business partner, or friend is not your enemy. You have been drawn together by a magnetic spirit. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, another thing. Sorry, it came back to me. There has been a call, I feel, recently to be more private. Just in general, if you're on a spiritual journey and you've got certain things you're working on, creating your own business, goals, dreams, partnerships, friends, be more private about it. Couples that post everything, and I'm not condemning or judging anybody. Again, that's never my intent. But, we've all seen couples that post everything they do on Facebook. To me, that is a mask, a form of a mask. Not a literal mask, guys. But see, I feel like people do that because they're, maybe one of the partners is insecure. So they're, posting pictures of everything they do and everywhere they go because they're insecure, and it's like they're marking their territory. If any of your friends are, watching, then they're gonna know that, you're mine. And it's and then that's another thing too, if that's the way you have to operate in a relationship, go pee around that person and mark their, I'm not being literally, I'm just being funny, guys, but trying to be. And that's not healthy either. I have been in so many situations, in groups of people, in rooms, where I'm just being myself. I am a very loving, caring, charismatic, passionate, firecracker, emotional person. I have certain traits, and I'm a nurturer. I'm just I don't know. I like to be friendly and I like to have good relationships with people. But like, I don't walk into a room thinking, oh, whose partner can I go flirt with and get their attention and make their partner jealous. Now, there are people out there that do that intentionally, and they're unhealed, and you need to pray for them. But, and we all send them love and light. But, I've never been that kind of person. But I've walked into many situations, rooms, whatever, and that has been the setting. You know, a man's partner, wife, girlfriend, whatever, starts treating me horribly because their partner is like spoke to me or looked at me or, you know, and it's like, that's a sign too. You're not in a good, I mean, that's not a good relationship. If you have to go out of your way and be watching your partner all the time to make sure they're not looking at someone else or speaking to someone else, either you already know that you're not in the right relationship, you already know that they're not in love with you, you already know that they've got a wandering eye, possibly a cheater. But don't project your insecurities on somebody that just walked into a room and is being their authentic self, being kind, compassionate, caring, and charismatic, and that's attractive, and confidence is attractive. So when you're not confident, it shows greatly. And that shows me when those kind of things happen, I immediately know that either that partner of that person is insecure about their relationship, or that, you know, something else is going on. And I know, I mean, before I started this spiritual journey and started learning all these things that I've learned, I used to think, man, why does everybody hate me? Like, I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not trying to take your man. I just walked in the room and spoke to people. That is toxic. If that's how you see the situation, oh, she's gonna take my man. No, maybe, have you thought maybe she doesn't want your man? Have you thought maybe she's got a man? Have you thought maybe she's just being nice and being herself? Go heal. You know what I mean? But yeah, getting back to the privacy thing, there is a call right now. If you are in a high vibrational relationship, friendship, soul family, like, if it's good, if it's a good, healthy relationship, keep it to yourself. Because there are so many people out there that see a couple like that and want to come in and destroy it. You know, and when you're when you have a person like that in your life, a strong magnetic pull to somebody, a soul tie, you know, whatever you want to call it, a soulmate, a twin flame, whatever, other people see that. They can see it. They can see. If you're in a room with that person and there's other people around, they see it. And maybe sometimes you guys don't even see it. Like, you don't even realize. You're just being yourself. It's just your best friend. You're just taught, you know? And other people see it and they get jealous because there are spirits and people walking around that do not want partnerships like that to come into fruition. Because when you're in a connection like that and you're two powerful, healed, high vibrational, loving people that are compassionate and kind, light workers, star seeds, whatever you want to call it, children of God, chosen, there are spirits and people that do not want to see you together. And it's important to remember, and I'm not saying like that you have to hide everything. No, but move in secret, move in silence. Like, don't post everything on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and whatever. Like, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm dry. I need to get a drink. But yeah, I mean, it's sacred. I mean, just like our sacral chakra, our womb space as women, and other parts that I'm not going to sit here and say because I don't want to get, taken down. But you know what area of the body I'm speaking of. That is a sacred area of your body. And it is not meant for just anybody to come along. And that's where when we have sexually based experiences with people, there's not just physical STDs, guys. There's spiritual STDs too. That's what I call them. But you can call them soul ties. You can call them attachments, cords, energetic cords. Like, if you slept with somebody, you have an energetic cord to that person. And so they have access to your energy, and so does anything that's in their energy. And if you know, you know. If you are following me so far, you just got what I was saying. So, again, if you are in a high vibrational relationship like that with anyone, or getting one started, or whatever, it's a friendship. It could be any kind of relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic in nature. But it has to be sacred. It has to be kept sacred. And, if you do have a relationship like that, and you are following me, and you are where I'm at, and you know what I'm talking about, you don't really want anybody else. So it becomes easier to just be like, no, I'm good, thank you. I'll keep this boxed up a little longer for whoever, that one person is, or that special person, or that person is not like other people that just want to come in and take from you, whether it's sexually, energetically, financially, or whatever. So, keep your projects, keep your dreams, keep your goals, keep your moves to yourself. Because those toxic energies can exist in anyone. It doesn't have to be a third party, jealous person that wants your person. It could be a family member. It could be anybody. So just keep that in mind. And we can't, that's another thing. Like, when there's a lot, for those of you who are like me and you've experienced not so good relationships in your past, you have to remember that until you let those bad things go, nothing good is going to come in. And I was trying to get this out in my last video, but when we release to make room for something new, when we release the old to make way for the new, when we release the toxic to make way for the divine, shoot, I lost my train of thought again. When we release those things for a divine partnership, we have to remember that God, that's the way God works, okay? So, like, if you're in a relationship with a karmic partner or a toxic partner, and you're supposed to, we'll talk about divine inheritance real quick. Like, once you step into alignment with the Most High, and you start your divine mission work. You start your path, you know, your divine path. You're following your dreams, your goals, you're connecting with God, and you're following his lead to something greater. He can't bless you until you've let go of those toxic people, because he knows that when he gives you these blessings that are coming in for the collective, because I've been channeling that too, and thank you God for that. But when those blessings start to come in, there can't be anybody there from your past that's gonna steal from you or manipulate you or be deceptive. You know, he can't bless you if that's the kind of people you've still got around you. So I wanted to say that, following up with my last video, because I don't think I said this, but that's why we have to release the old. We have to release people, places, and things that no longer serve us. Because when we do, God has something greater. But he can't and he won't bring in that abundant harvest. He's not going to bring in your blessings if you're surrounded by toxic people. Okay? And that's because he knows, like, you know, with me, he knows I am a nurturing, generous, caring, compassionate person. And yes, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I've gotten better with it. But, like, you know, I know that God is going to bless me. I know my blessings are coming in. I know it. I feel it. I've channeled it. I've read it in my cards when I do my own readings. You know, I know something great is coming in. And I know why it's coming in, because I know I'm not operating from a place of greed. When my blessings come in, they're going to be put into places that are going to be helpful for the spiritual well-being of all beings. That's how I know they're coming, because it's not my will, it's thy will. It's God's will. And he's going to bless me so that I can bless other people. And that's faith and knowing that when you operate from the correct place, there's nothing that can stop what's coming. What God has for you, no one can stop. No one. They can try. They can delay things with, you know, their dark arts, but they're not going to keep what's yours from coming to you. You will receive what God has written for you when you step into alignment with the Most High and your divine path. What's yours is coming to you no matter what. So that's a message to the good and the bad that may be watching this video. You can try to stop divine unions. You can try to stop, you know, divine inheritances that people have, but you can't. You're not going to. You won't stop them, and you're not going to stop me. Not that I'm saying toxic people watch me, but I'm just saying if somebody out there is, you know, you're not stopping nothing, because, you know, I walk with the Most High, so that's what I know. But anyway, your partner, your spouse, significant other, love interest, business partner, or friend is not your enemy. You have been drawn together by a magnetic spiritual resonance. It is natural for your heart to close in the midst of fear. But do your best to open it right back up, over and over again, as often as needed. Find the courage to be vulnerable, to ask for what you need, and to share your feelings with love. This way you can reestablish the heart-level connection that will banish loneliness, illuminate your path, and fill your life with joy. Because essentially that's what God has for all of us. That's what he wants for all of us. He wants all of us to be full of joy. And he doesn't, he made man and woman to be partners. There's people out there that want to go through their whole life alone. Well, go ahead. But, like, I'm meant to be in a partnership. And I know this. And I know it's coming. And I feel it. I know. And it's going to be with somebody that's like-minded, that understands me on a soul level, and knows who I am to them, and knows who I am in general. You, like everyone, want so dearly to be seen, loved, and appreciated. Don't we all want that? This desperate need can sometimes morph into a veil of illusion, causing you to believe untrue things, such as that you are unlikable or that your loved ones don't care about you as much as you care about them. That's the devil. Doubt. That's past relationships coming through. Your old wounds. Your don't believe that. Don't believe that. Jaleel, or I don't know how to say this, Jaleel can help you see beyond these illusions so you can establish or reestablish the loving connections you seek. Spend time outdoors. Yes, that's another thing. And I know that's for me too, because I need to go connect with nature too. But anybody that's having issues staying grounded, yeah, go out in nature. And literally hug a tree. Go talk to a tree. Go sit by the river. Go sit by a body of water, a lake, the ocean, whatever. But just go. It'll help you connect with spirit. It helps me connect with spirit. There's this one spot in particular near where I live, and I love to go up there and meditate. And it's just special. It's a special place. But go in the forest, go by water, go in nature. It's gonna help ground you. And it's gonna help clear your mind and elevate your mood and your vibration. And that is key too. And that's another thing I want to talk about, but I want to finish this really quick. Yeah, so it's calling for you to go, for us to go outdoors and connect with nature. And it's also talking about meditating. And for those of you that do meditate and do visualizations, if this is an area that you need work with, if you're trying to heal your heart from past relationships so that you can move into a divine connection, that's what this is about. Spend time outdoors. Green is the color of the heart chakra. And I also have a heart chakra frequency going right now in the background. And yeah, meditate with green, emerald green. When you're meditating, think of visualize emerald green and diamond white light. Take some deep breaths and allow your heart to open and your relationship dynamics to heal. So that was number 26, Jaleel. And, there's pretty green in this card too, but that's the card. So. And I know rose quartz is good. For those of you who like crystals and work with crystals, rose quartz is good for heart healing. Jade, emerald, green. Because like I said, that's what's connected to the heart. Okay, so then this was at the top of one of my decks, one of my oracle decks that I made myself, Sacrifice. And I felt, as soon as I read that and looked over, I saw this, so I grabbed it. Because there's no coincidences in spirituality. There's only God instances. So, you know, there must be a sacrifice. There's always going to be a sacrifice to get rid of old and step into something new. You have to sacrifice. I gladly sacrifice my, past toxic, unhealed, low vibrational relationships with, energy vampires. And I'll talk briefly. Just, you already know if you're in a relationship with somebody that you probably shouldn't be in a relationship with. Your heart, you listen to your intuition. If it feels off, if you don't feel connected, if you don't feel like you can talk or to that person about absolutely anything and it be okay, and you guys come to a resolution, peaceful resolution, and it's not an equal give and take relationship, it's not divine. I don't know a nicer way of saying it, and I really hope that I'm not sounding judgmental or like I'm not trying to be that way or criticize. I am trying to help. So, energy vampires, I know that the picture literally a vampire, but yeah, that's something else I tuned into this past year with certain people. I had never noticed it before, but it happened with a past person, and I am an empath, and I am highly sensitive to energy, and I have a lot of gifts, but until you get in tune with those gifts and really understand spirituality and stuff like this, it won't be as apparent to you. And in the past, it wasn't. But after I went through, some really hard times in my life and started healing and got sober and came back around this person, I noticed my energy level completely drained after being with them or in their presence or whatever. And it was a significant, like, one time it was so significant, I had to go to bed. I had absolutely no energy. None. Just absolutely none. I felt depressed. So be aware of stuff like that, if there's somebody like that in your life, and don't get me wrong, I'm not judging that person or anybody else. A lot of people don't even know they're doing it. So we have to always lead from a place of love and healing and compassion and kindness. Well, we don't have to, but that's what we should choose to do, and that's what I choose to do. So, while I recognize this, at the same time, I also recognize that that person probably does not do that on purpose and probably never realized they were doing it. And like I said, I don't feel like it's an intentional thing with a lot of people. But however, there are people out there that do that on purpose. Unconsciously, But when you're around somebody that's got a good high vibrational, they walk into a room and they're there, and they change the energy in the room and stuff. Those are the people that are gonna be drained of their energy by people if they're not aware of it. And you need to, if you do experience this, if this is something that you pick up on and it's resonant for you, there's a lot of things you can do. Start with assessing that relationship or person or situation. You need to protect your energy. You need to set up boundaries with that person. And you need to, and we all need to. I wanted to talk about this too, and I'm glad it's just all coming together for me. That's my cat in the background. So, shoot, I lost my train of thought again. This is gonna be a long video. So, shoot. Oh, protecting your energy. Yes. You need to do that anyway. Yeah, it's so important, especially for me right now, because there are situations and people, that are I am allowing to affect my energy. Let's just say it that way. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to step away for just a moment. Okay. Sorry. I couldn't figure out how to pause it, so. Anyway. So, protecting your energy. Knowing yourself. You know, I've, personally, this past week, I've had a talk with somebody, that does a lot of, gossiping and negative talk, and likes to keep stuff stirred up, basically. And that does not align with my soul, you know, and I've had to actually tell that person multiple times, and hopefully they're gonna eventually get it. But don't allow people to drain your energy. Don't allow people to get you out of your element. I don't, like, I'm working on myself. I have projects, I have ideas, I have dreams and goals and desires. So when I'm at home, you know, I'm alone usually, you know, well, two of my children live with me, but, like, you know, I'm alone with spirit and God, and conversation and prayer and research, learning, trying to heal, develop, you know, like, what I'm basically saying is I'm too busy working on myself to sit around and talk smack about other people and create, you know, try to create bad situations for them because you don't agree with something you're doing. And mind you, all the while, this person goes to church and calls themselves a Christian. So, you know, and I've seen it on some of the tarot readers I watch on some of their lives. These people come in and start harassing them, talking about throw your cards away and turn to Christ. And I just feel led to talk about that really briefly. Like, God, when Christ was here, he did not go around talking to people like that. And you can say what you want to. I read tarot and oracle, and I am also a child of God. I read the Bible. I pray every day, multiple times. So, I know the Bible. I know Christianity. I've been to every denomination in the Christian church that there is, and I know that we are not called to judge people. Jesus Christ did not come here and judge people. He was a spiritual healer, an ascended master. So if you're going to call yourself a Christian and say that you're following Christ and then come on someone's platform and talk like that in their chat, or judge me and think that you know better than I know, I don't, you need to go pray and figure out what you've missed, because Christians are not called to judge people. We are called to lead by example with love. That is a true Christian. Okay? I am sick and tired of hearing Christians, quote unquote, sitting around talking pure smack and gossiping about people. And you are performing spell work, and you might not even know you're doing it, you know, but gossip is the oldest form of spell work there is. Speaking ill. Why do you think it's called spells? Spell a word, speak a word of negativity over someone else, about someone else, condemning them, judging them. That is not of God at all. There is only one judge, and he is above us, in us, all around us, all the time. So you might think you're doing God's work, that you're being a Christian, but if you are, you're not. If you're gossiping and talking over about, if you're doing that, that is not of God. And I'm, when I started this platform, God told me through a channeled message that I received from him that I am here to break down limiting belief systems. Which leads me, this is great. It's like I'm channeling or something. Generational curse breaker. Okay? That's what I'm here to do. That's what a lot of us are here to do. Called to do. Generational curse breaker. You are, and coinciding with this message, we're being called to heal and identify toxic and divine partnerships and relationships with people. We have to sacrifice toxicity. That makes us generational curse breakers. If your parents were married but fought all the time, if that's the example that was set for you, that would explain why you think toxic relationships are normal, healthy, or the way relationships are. Even if you weren't raised that way. My parents were not like that at all. But however, it's universal law that says what? You attract what you are. If you're unhealed, you're going to attract unhealed partnerships and friends and relationships in your life of any sort or kind. So, that is a download too for me just now. If you want a healed, divine, sacred union, divine partnership, if that's the kind of relationships you want to invite into your life, that's, I just can't share everything. So anyway, You have to be patient because sometimes those people need to heal too, you know? And everybody's not on the same timeline as you, you know? But in my opinion, I'm to that point in my life where I want a healthy relationship. So if I have to wait, you know, and be patient, which is something I've been called to do lately too, with, you know, certain situations, then that's what I'm going to do. Because I would rather have healthy than toxic any day. Because I've done that. Been there, done that, and it's not fun. It's not of the light. It's not an experience that we're supposed to have. Toxic relationships can teach us lessons, but you have to learn the lesson and heal and move forward. You know, repeating cycles with people that are unhealthy is, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing repeatedly, expecting different results. Right? Okay, so anyway, if you're doing this work that I'm talking about, it's making you a generational curse breaker. Because let's say your parents, you know, you watched a very karmic partnership between your parents as a child, or you've seen it in other family members, or you've experienced it yourself. Like, when you're able to let go of those kind of things, eliminate the toxicity, and bring in divinity, makes you a spiritual warrior. You know, that's where our learning comes from, guys, is mistakes, past. Yeah. How can you learn lessons if you don't make mistakes? How can you receive knowledge? How can you, yeah. I mean, that's just part of life. We all make mistakes. Every one of us make mistakes. And I've really felt lately like I'm really getting sick of people that are judgmental and condemning and manipulative, and yeah, it's just not good energy. And I've worked really hard to raise my frequency and vibration, and so I'm gonna protect myself, and I encourage you to too, if you're on this path, to stay high vibrational. Operate from a place of love and compassion and kindness for everyone. Even the people that have hurt you in the past, whether it was deliberate or not, whether it was cheating or stealing or what, you know, whatever it was, it wasn't them, and they need to heal. And you wouldn't have attracted them if you were healed. You know? And so be kind to them, and then also be kind to yourself. And forgive them. And realize it's not them. They're not a bad person. They're not, you know, necessarily. Maybe some of them are not a good person. But, you know, pray for them and pray that they find healing, and that they can come into alignment with their divine creator and their divine purpose. And, you know, just remember, when we plant good seeds, we get good fruit. And also remember that once you go put a seed in the soil, you don't get immediate results. That's something else I've had to really work on lately. Like I said, patience. Patience. The divine is really speaking to me. So that could be a download for you guys too. Like, yes, I've put out all this goodness. I operate from a place of love and compassion and kindness and caring. I am not going to let people run over me anymore like I have in the past. I'm still that nurturing, kind person, but I also am not going to let people take advantage of me. And that's where I got it messed up in the past. You know, oh, I'm being like I really thought I was helping people. And, I opened up too much of myself and my life and my home to people who took advantage of me and stole from me and caused legal issues for me and so on and so forth. So I'm not saying go around letting people do those things to you. What I'm saying is when you put out good, so I put out good to those people. I was trying, I thought I was being helpful. I thought I was doing something good. And I lost everything in return. But I got it all back and more. Because I operated from a place of love. I went and got sober and healed. I'm still healing. We will always be unhealed. We will always be needing to work on some kind of healing. To be high vibrational and to keep go, like, there's always going to be work to do. There's always going to be protection needed. There's always going to be prayer needed. There's always going to be manifestation needed. But when you are planting these seeds and manifesting good things into your life, you have to remember that you don't plant a seed one day and get your crop the next. That's not how it works. You have to give those seeds time to develop and grow. They have to be watered. The sun has to shine on them. The sun in tarot represents God, as well as the Hierophant. But yeah, water emotions, pouring into yourself, pouring life into things. You got to pour life into yourself. You've got to pour into yourself for you to be able to pour into anybody else. So self-love is very important. Self-healing, self-focus is very important before anything divine can come in. And you need to be in a relationship, any relationship, friendship, companion, family, any of it. It needs to be an equal give and take. And if that isn't the case, that's where we put up boundaries with people. And then we don't even, when we do that, then there's not even an opportunity to come in and take advantage to drain you of energy, resources, finances, any of it. Because you've set up energetic boundaries as well as physical ones. I try to operate in even my prayers. I pray for healing of my mind, body, soul, spirit, heart, everything. And my kids are always, joking or, well, I don't know if they're joking or not, but, I can find spirituality in anything. I don't know, maybe that's a gift, or maybe it's because that's just the way I see life now, but, my kids will tell me, Mom, everything isn't spiritual. Well, it is to me, so, you're just going to have to listen to my rantings. I don't know, but, and, I feel like when someone has, well, I know, I know, I don't feel like, I know this is true. When you have a spiritual sickness can manifest into your body, right? I've seen it happen in one of my children. I've seen it happen in a lot of people. So sometimes 5D, spiritual illnesses can manifest into the body, the 3D, the physical world. And if you think that is incorrect, I got another thing coming for you, because that is correct. So, healing the mind, healing the heart, healing the soul, the spirit, is also crucial for your physical man, your body, your avatar, your shell, your meat suit. Okay? And then getting back to the message. When we can do these things, heal, raise our vibration, and then you're going to be attracting, what are you going to attract then? You're going to attract high vibrational people because you're high vibrational. If you're low vibrational and operating out of toxicity, addiction, lust, greed, envy, jealousy, any of that, then that's what you're going to attract. So that makes sense to me, you know, because I've sat many times, you know, and with spirit and with myself and with God and just like, what am I doing wrong? I am such a, you know, and I know I'm not perfect, but what was I doing wrong? Why didn't I get back the love I poured out to these past people? Because they weren't capable of doing that. Because they weren't healed. They weren't on a healing journey. You know? So, but when we can do those things and come into alignment with our higher self, we're increase our frequency and our vibration, we are going to attract an abundant harvest. And that's when the abundant harvest will come in. It's not going to come in when you're surrounded by low vibrational people. If you're in a fear-based, lack, anxiety mindset, it's not going to come in. And this is what this right here is talking about. And yeah, again, it's definitely a message for me too. Okay, so we got it's all, okay, so swords represent thought. Swords are air element. And Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And then we got death. But the rest of this is swords. Death is Scorpio. You know, sex, death, and transformation. Energy. So that's the signs we have out here. That's the energies. We have water. Scorpio is represented by water, which water is emotions. So but anyway, we got the 3 of Swords, we got the 8 of Swords, we got Death in reverse, and I don't normally take reversals because my deck is in the upright, and that's how I shuffle. But then I always clarify with Spirit, am I supposed to take this in reverse or upright? Well, today Death came in the reverse, and I am supposed to take it in the reverse. So we got Death in reverse, and we got 7 of Swords and Queen of Swords. Okay, 3 of Swords is heartbreak, suffering, betrayal. Again, this is speaking to past energy. And I also feel like for me, it's thoughts, your mind. Okay, because of and this is I'm saying me, but I'm gonna apply it to you guys. So, you know, take stuff and that's for you and leave the rest. You know, take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate, it's not your message. If you're not following me thus far, this is probably not a message for you. But if you are trapped in your own mind, 3 of Swords, with betrayal, heartbreak, suffering from your past relationships, mental, yeah, 8 of Swords is mental prison, mental chaos. So like we can entrap ourselves and hold ourselves back with our minds. Our minds are so powerful. I am in a mental prison of betrayal from the past. So I've got to, you know, and there's somebody out in the collective this is true for too, because that's why this is a collective reading, but it also applies to me, which is why it's going to be so long and I'm ranting and passionate about it, because Spirit is so funny, you know. Spirit makes me laugh. It's like, yeah, you this is your message, but it's, you know, to give to the collective, but you need to pay attention to it too, you know? So, yeah. So I've been trapped in my mind, operating from a place of fear and anxiety when it comes to relationships, because I've been hurt so many times, because I've been taken advantage of, because people have come towards me in a passionate, lustful energy, not wanting anything that I thought it was going to be. That's wearing a mask. That's being deceptive. When someone comes to you and you think it's all good and you think, you got a committed partnership, and they allow you to think that and don't tell you, hey, I'm not really looking for anything serious or long term. A toxic person isn't going to tell you that. They're not, because maybe they don't even know that they're doing that. But some of them do, and a lot of them do. But they don't have the decency or the heart to tell you, hey, I'm just looking for, a one night stand, or can we be friends with benefits or whatever, and I'm the kind of person, I am very authentic. I am very vulnerable with people, too vulnerable at times. But like, I have no problem telling someone how I feel about them or about a situation, or being authentic in a relationship and in a situation. And I try to treat my partners a certain way, and then when I haven't gotten it returned to me, it's hurtful. But I've allowed it. I allowed it in the past. So, and my dad used to tell me all the time, it is so important to be equally yoked with your partner. And growing up in church, I've heard it said, and it is so true. Equally yoked is equivalent to an equal give and take relationship. If I pour into you, you pour back into me. That's just how it works. Cups, water, like I said, in tarot, it represents emotions. So if you're pouring all this love and care and emotion and all this into someone and getting nothing back, and you're still putting up with it, and you're not seeing it that way, hopefully, you'll see it that way now, because that's what's happening. Your goodness, your purity, your love is being drained from you and not returned. That's why healthy partnerships are key. And I'm just to the point in my life where, if it's not healthy, and if I can't, relate to that person, whether it be, friendship, partnership, family relationships, if I can't relate to that person on a soul level, and they don't really understand me and get me, or even want to try to, boundaries go up immediately. That's just, that's the way it is. And that's the way it should be. Because, no, that's not what God wants for us either. He doesn't want us pouring into stuff that doesn't give us anything back. How is that fair? How is that an equal give and take? It isn't. And that's what we're supposed to be in. A divine union, a power couple, soul connections should be an equal give and take. And if you're in a relationship like that, you're both on a healing journey already. So the chances are, if you can identify with somebody on a soul level, that's special. Not everybody gets that. They could get it if they knew themselves, if they opened their mind, if they became enlightened, if they got off social media and stopped watching TV and started, attaining knowledge and seeking guidance. But I'm not here to judge. Again, that sounded kind of judgy, but I'm not trying to be that way. I haven't watched TV. I had my cable shut off when I was 40. I don't want to see that crap. The news hurts me physically and spiritually to watch it. I don't know how people can just sit there and consume negative, toxic, karmic, evil, hurtful, horrible things. And they call it news. That's not news. That's finding the worst things out there and putting them out where everybody can see it. Because what does that do? Instills fear in people. Where does fear come from? Not from God. Okay? I mean, yeah. So, if you're on a spiritual journey, if you're on a spiritual path of healing and coming into alignment with your higher self, you already know this. You probably don't watch a lot of TV. And just, you start to do less things that don't align with your soul and more things that do align with your soul. And that's just part of it. I've been called to stop eating pork and to also listen to my body and to, I'd like to eventually get away from meat altogether. But that's part of an enlightenment. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about is ascension flu, it's called. And I didn't know what it was for me for the longest time. I thought it was all kind of stuff. And, also coming into sobriety after 6 years as an alcoholic and then 4 years followed by drug addiction. That's a decade, of putting toxic chemicals and harmful things in my body to not doing that and trying to keep going in life and what life this matrix joke consists of, having a career so you can make money and pay bills and work yourself to death in a 9-to-5 job that doesn't fulfill you or align with your soul. So when you have ascended spiritually and you're still having to live, though, in this 3D bullshit, matrix bullshit, I'm sorry, but it is, but your soul is ascending, and you know what your calling is, and you know where you're supposed to be, you know where you're supposed to go, you know that life is supposed to be simpler, you know that we're supposed to be eating healthier foods, and not stuff that's canned and boxed and has full of preservatives. When, all of these things, it's like a fight. Your soul is ascending, and your body's still here. So it's called ascension flu, which can leave you feeling sick, weak, drained. You don't have to do a whole lot, and you just got to go to bed and sleep for 10 or 12 hours. That was going on for me for, I would say, a good 6 to 9 months. So just something else to be aware of, it's not necessarily that something's wrong with you. I went to the doctor and had a, full checkup. So the spirit world and the 3D world are linked together, whether people believe it or not. And when we say ascending, that just means you're getting higher vibrational. You're looking towards the sun. You're looking towards God. God is the sun. That's the way I look at it. He is the sun. He lights our path. He illuminates. So when we're looking up at the sun and we're looking up at God, And we're letting go of low vibrational things that tie us down, chain us, and keep us low vibrational. We are ascending, right? So our vibration's getting higher. But our body's still trapped in this crap, you know? So it can absolutely give us symptoms like flu-like symptoms, you know, and that kind of thing. Pains in certain parts of your body, ringing in your ears can be a sign. Yeah, and there's a lot to it. And I'm sure I've left out some symptoms too, but know thyself in every situation. Any situation. Do not let anybody get you out of your element. That is a huge thing for me right now. Somebody, you know, comes to me and starts talking, and it's so easy to just start talking back, but like, you know, but no, I don't want to do that. Like, that's not how I want to spend my time. I want to spend my time being positive and high vibrational and helping people and, you know, not talking bad about them. And because I've got enough going on in my own life, you know, trying to do certain things, like I said, trying to learn and stay, you know, I've got a lot of projects and goals and ambitions and desires and things that I know I want and things that I'm working on. So, you know, and I would rather not spend my time talking about people who don't really matter to me. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, not that they don't matter, but like, I don't care about that. Like, I care about, you know, being peaceful and staying in my lane, you know? Stay in your lane. But anyway, so here we go. So we're getting back. So death, okay, so yeah. Trapped in our minds, you could be, I am, I have been, but I'm breaking free of it because I pray every day and do affirmations. I always, by the way, my community board, I try to post positive affirmations daily or as much as I can. I've gotten away from daily because I do have a job. Eventually, one day, I would like for my sole job to be, you know, in spirituality, different things, you know. But for now, I have to work, you know, at a 9 to 5 kind of job to pay my bills and have the things I need to exist in this matrix right now. So, but I try to do that as much as possible. I try to post scriptures, prayers, affirmations, crystals, you know, a lot of things like that that would be helpful for people. So that is like affirmations is what has gotten me, and I'm not completely done. I'm not completely healed and I'm not completely there, but I've really, the positive affirmations have really gotten me steered away from, but not completely there yet. But I like I said, I'm a work in progress. Eliminating a fear-based mindset. And that is not my fault. I was brought up in it. It was, you know, a generational curse to you know, for my family, certain people in my family, to operate from out of anxiety, worry, fear, lack. Oh, we never have enough. Well, we've never gone without. The only time I've gone without in my life was when I was in addiction and made the wrong decisions, lost my job, and became homeless and lost my home. You know, other than that, I've never gone without. You know, and so, but when so your thoughts are so powerful. And you can manifest without knowing it. You're sending, when your thoughts, think about it this way. Your thoughts are a signal to the universe. Okay? So when your thoughts are, oh my gosh, I don't have enough money to pay my bills, or oh, I'm so worried about this, that, and the other. You're operating out of fear, and you're not trusting. You're supposed to have faith and trust in God. If you're a child of God, if you're a Christian, you're operating out of a fear-based mindset, and that's from the devil. So just remember that. God, there's no fear in love and no love in fear. And God is love, and we are supposed to operate from a place of love, abundance. That's the kind of mindset you need to have. Money flows to me with ease. I am financially secure. I am on my path to divinity. That's the way you have to speak. I have more than enough. I have more than what I need. My needs are met by God, always. Because when you do that, that's the signal you're putting out to the universe, and see if it doesn't change things for you a little bit. And so that brings me right into this. So if you're say you're someone that's been hurt in the past, you've had a lot of toxic connections with people, and you're moving into a new connection, whatever connection it might be. We're not going to put labels on anything. And your mind is, oh my God, I don't know if I can trust them. Oh, I don't know if they have my best intentions at heart. I'm afraid of being hurt. So I'm going to wear a mask and act like I don't care about this person that I really do care about. But I'm going to, show them or try to pretend that I don't, because I'm afraid I'm going to get hurt. That's a mental prison that you're trapped in. And the only person that can free you from that is God and yourself. So, letting go, we got to let go. We got to get out of this mental prison, 8 of Swords, of heartbreak, suffering, betrayal. Though, 3 of Swords, that's the past, hurt and suffering. And then death in the upright. Death in the upright represents, new beginnings, transformation, endings for new beginnings, But in the reverse, it's fear of change. Fear of change. Holding on to decay. So, Spirit is calling us to stop fearing change. It's hard. I don't know how I'm going to act when I get a loving, good person in a relationship, because I've never had it. But I'm also not doing myself a favor by entrapping these thoughts in my mind of fear of betrayal. Fear that somebody's going to hurt me like I've been hurt in the past. Because if you listen to your intuition, your gut, your God voice, the whisper, it's not loud, it's quiet. So that's why we are called to meditate and pray and stuff. Because if you've got questions for God, He'll answer you, but you got to listen. And He's not going to yell it in your ear. You have to listen. Signs, synchronicities, your angels, God, spirit, whatever you identify with, your ancestors, your spirit guides. There are signs, there are going to be answers for you, but you have to know and listen, right? So, and then the 7 of Swords is betrayal, lack of conscience, liar, thief, deception. So, we're not doing ourselves any favors, okay, when we don't release this crap. Because that's what it is. It's all crap. It's all toxic. It's all karmic. It's all bad. You know, it's all bad. And when we release that, the Queen of Swords speaks of a higher perspective, clear-minded. When you go within, release this crap here, step into your healing journey, and become clear-minded. And listen to your intuition and your heart and God and what He's telling you. That is when the goodness can come in. Okay? The Queen of Swords puts up boundaries. She doesn't take shit from anybody. She will cut out deception with her sword. That's why she's the Queen of Swords. She knows. She can perceive. She can see. Because she's clear-minded. And she will cut out any toxicity. She will establish boundaries. So, when we get into our Queen of Swords energy, that's when our abundant harvest and love can come in, guys. Right? So, I hope this has been helpful to whoever is watching it. I don't know what I'm going to call this, but we'll see. But, yeah. So, yeah. I hope you guys have a great day. And I pray always for God to heal. I send you love and light, healing energy every day. Remember how powerful your mind is. Remember what your thoughts can do, especially when you're trying to manifest goodness into your life. If your thoughts are limiting, fear-based, decay, death in reverse is decay. In the upright, it's new beginnings, transformation. So, yeah. I love you guys, and I hope you find peace, healing, and love and within yourself so that you can attract it into your own life. Love, peace, and faith in God. See you guys later.